Tonight, we dive into the mystery of a woman who went from folding laundry to topping the global charts in under 48 hours. But was it all a carefully crafted illusion? In the spring of 2026, the music industry was blindsided by a name no one saw coming: Hannah Harper. To the millions of viewers watching at home, she was the quintessential underdog, a stay-at-home mother from Missouri who walked onto the national stage with nothing but a guitar and a story that broke the internet. Her performance of an original song titled "String Cheese" didn't just earn a standing ovation. It became a cultural phenomenon that dominated social media for weeks. However, our investigation into the origins of this viral moment suggests that the narrative of the humble, nervous amateur might not be the whole truth. While the judges praised her natural and raw talent, industry insiders began whispering about the timing of her ascent. How does a mother of three, with supposedly no professional backing, manage to secure a #1 spot on the iTunes charts within hours of her debut airing? Some call it destiny, but others are beginning to suspect a high-level marketing operation designed to exploit the mom-next-door trope. We've looked into the digital footprint left behind by this Missouri native, and what we found suggests that the shocking arrival of Hannah Harper was anything but accidental. The polish in her vocal delivery and the strategic way she handled the cameras pointed toward a level of media training that most contestants take years to master. As the cheers grew louder, so did the questions from skeptics who wondered if we were watching a genuine discovery or a perfectly executed industry plant designed to save a struggling reality format. This wasn't just a singer. This was a product, and the world was buying in without seeing the labels. But as we dug deeper into her past, the humble Missouri mom story began to unravel in ways that no one, not even the judges, seemed prepared to handle. While the cameras focused on her minivan and her children, a secret history was hiding in the rearview mirror, one involving a 7-year journey across the country that the show completely ignored. The most compelling part of Hannah's story was her lack of experience, or so we were told. But our team has uncovered a revealed timeline that paints a drastically different picture. For nearly a decade before her 2026 debut, Hannah Harper wasn't just singing in her kitchen. She was living a life on the road that most professional musicians would find grueling. From the ages of 18 to 25, Hannah was a staple on the evangelical and gospel circuit, living full-time on a tour bus that crisscrossed the United States. She wasn't an amateur. She was a seasoned veteran of the stage, performing in front of thousands of people in massive venues long before she ever stood in front of a TV crew. This untold story changes everything about the terrified mom persona we saw on screen. Sources close to her former touring group suggest that Hannah had mastered the art of audience manipulation and emotional storytelling years ago. When she stood on that stage and claimed to be just a mom, she was omitting a career that involved professional recording sessions and high-pressure performances. This exposed past has led many to question the authenticity of the show's competitive integrity. If a contestant has 7 years of professional touring under their belt, is it fair to pit them against teenagers who have never left their bedrooms? The discrepancy between her official bio and her actual history has created a rift among fans. Some believe her experience makes her the most qualified winner in history, while others feel betrayed by the omission of her professional roots. This wasn't just an omission of facts. It was a deliberate choice to lean into a more marketable version of her life. But the mystery doesn't end with her travel history. There is a much darker side to her rise, a controversy involving her breakout song that has many wondering if the emotional weight of her music was actually borrowed for the sake of fame. It was the song that made the world cry, but now, accusations have surfaced that the heartbreaking lyrics might have been a calculated move to win the sympathy vote at any cost. "String Cheese" was more than just a song. It was described as a raw, unfiltered look at the mental health struggles of a young mother. Hannah claimed she wrote it in the middle of the night during her darkest moments of postpartum depression, and the world rewarded her vulnerability with millions of streams. However, as of May 2026, a new wave of speculation has hit the forums. Former associates from her touring days have come forward, claiming that elements of the song were actually written years before she even had children. These accusations surfaced, suggest that the narrative of the struggling mom was retrofitted onto an existing track to maximize its emotional impact for a TV audience. If these claims are true, it would mean that the very foundation of Hannah's brand is built on a manufactured tragedy. The backlash has been swift, with critics arguing that using mental health as a prop for reality TV success is a DMN shame. We reached out to her camp for a comment on these shocking claims, but the silence has been deafening. Meanwhile, the song continues to generate massive revenue, leading many to wonder if the truth even matters in the age of viral clips. Fans who originally found solace in her lyrics are now feeling scammed, questioning whether their tears were manipulated by a clever scriptwriter rather than a soulful artist. This isn't just about a song anymore. It's about the ethics of investigative storytelling in the music industry. Is it okay to tweak the truth if the result is a beautiful piece of art? As the controversy grows, the pressure on Hannah to address her exposed timeline is reaching a breaking point. But while the public argues over her lyrics, a much bigger scandal is brewing behind the scenes, one that involves a secret pact with a country music legend that could change the course of the entire competition. Is the biggest competition in the world actually a rigged game, with Hannah Harper already holding a winning ticket from a legend who is pulling the strings from the shadows? The most persistent rumor of 2026 isn't about Hannah's voice, but about her future. For months, whispers have circulated that Hannah Harper has already signed a massive, multi-million-dollar deal with a label owned by none other than Dolly Parton. The theory suggests that Hannah's appearance on the show is a SHC King publicity stunt coordinated between the network and the label to build a massive fan base before she officially launches her career. If this revealed secret is true, it means the voting process is a complete sham. Why would millions of people spend their time and money voting for a winner who has already been chosen in a boardroom months ago? We've looked into the connections, and the evidence is mounting. Hannah's wardrobe, her sudden shift in musical style toward classic country, and even her social media strategy all bear the hallmarks of the Parton branding machine. Insiders claim that Hannah has been spotted at private recording studios in Nashville during her off days from the show, a move that would be a direct violation of her contestant contract, unless, of course, the network is in on it. This scandal has the potential to ruin the show's reputation forever. Many fans are calling for a full audit of the voting results, fearing that the fix is in. The idea that a humble mom is actually a corporate-backed superweapon is a bitter pill for the audience to swallow, but Hannah hasn't been staying silent. In fact, her reaction to these accusations has been the most exposed and aggressive moment of her career so far, leading to a digital confrontation that no one saw coming and that many found SHT tie for a supposed role model. The nice girl image shattered in a single night when Hannah Harper decided to stop playing the victim and started taking names in a shocking social media meltdown. It happened after a particularly brutal round of performances in April 2026. After being told by critics that she was faking it and using her kids as shields against criticism, Hannah didn't go to her dressing room to cry. Instead, she went live on her platforms and exposed her critics in a way that left the network executives scrambling for damage control. She didn't just defend herself. She went on the attack, calling out specific users and mocking the lazy narratives being built around her. For many, this was the moment the stay-at-home mom mask finally fell off, revealing a fierce, perhaps even DMN cold competitor who was willing to get SHT tie with anyone who stood in her way. While some fans praised her organic and real attitude, others were shocked by the hostility. The fallout was immediate. Sponsors began to question if she was still brand safe, and rumors of a mental health crisis began to circulate. But Hannah didn't back down. She leaned into the villain role, changing her stage persona to match her new, aggressive digital identity. This reinvention has divided the audience into two camps: those who think she's a boss for standing up to bullies, and those who think she's offed her own chances of winning by being too combative. The investigative question here is, was this meltdown real, or was it another calculated move to keep her name in the headlines? In the world of high-retention content, being hated is often more profitable than being loved. As the final weeks of the competition approach, Hannah Harper is no longer the woman who sang about string cheese. She is a polarizing firebrand who has exposed the ugly side of reality TV fame. As we stand here in May 2026, the question isn't just where Hannah Harper is now, but whether we ever truly knew her at all. Currently, Hannah remains a top contender, but the "where is she now?" query has taken on a much more literal meaning. She has become a ghost in the media, avoiding traditional interviews and only communicating through cryptic, revealed messages to her inner circle. Our sources indicate that she is preparing for a SHC-king exit from the show, regardless of whether she wins or loses. The Dolly deal seems more likely than ever, with reports surfacing that a world tour is already being booked for late 2026 under a different name. Whether she was an industry plant, a seasoned pro in disguise, or just a woman who knew how to play a broken system, Hannah Harper has successfully exposed the reality that fame in 2026 is a game of chess, not a talent show. She managed to take a simple snack and turn it into a multi-million-dollar brand, leaving a trail of controversy and speculation in her wake. As she moves toward the finale, the SHC King truth remains. We may never know the real Hannah Harper, and that might be exactly how she planned it from the very first note. She didn't just play the game, she rewrote the rules, proving that in the digital age, a manufactured story told with enough conviction can become the ultimate truth. As the curtain begins to fall on this season, one thing is revealed beyond a shadow of a doubt. The woman from Missouri is gone, and in her place stands a mogul who used our own emotions to build an empire. The mystery of what happened to the mom we all loved is solved. She never existed. She was just the hook that caught the world, and now that she's offed her old persona, the real story is only just beginning. Is this the future of music, or just a SHC King reminder that on the internet, nothing is ever what it seems?